The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. 8:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. 1 hour to go until that opening bell, and we got markets in negative territory to kick things off. Dow futures right now, negative 207 points. That's more than 7/10 in the red, trading at 28,505. S&P futures negative by 24. That's 7/10 as well, trading at 32.48. NASDAQ futures off 53 points, about 6/10 in the negative, trading at 9,044. Got some negative action in oil. We've got yields trading lower as people flock to bonds and some safety, and gold trading higher. 10-year yield this morning, 1.56%. Why not? We'll start it off with the chart of the yields and the bonds. We'll jump into the ZB. Let me find where that is. Where are we? Gold contract sliding down. Here is your 30-year. You see the spike. This on a weekly. 5-day, we're reaching new highs, pulling back a bit. And then your note, 10-year, 131.08, new highs for the week, that is, as fears of the coronavirus taking grip of the market. Jumping over to the indices, we'll start things off with the Dow. 28,525. You see the slide from last night. You see the slide begin yesterday. There's 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're trading at 28,853 in the Dow. We're now down more than 300 points from that price level. S&P 500 trading at 32.49. We were at a low of about 32.42 at 6:30 a.m. Low overnight of about 32.39 at 2:40 a.m. As I mentioned, in terms of lows, checking out where we've been for the week. Here's a 5-day chart as it loads for the S&P. The fear on Monday morning at 32.33. We trade all the way back up to 32.91, and just like that, 40 S&P points shaved off that price level since yesterday afternoon. Jumping back to the charts, NASDAQ 100 trading at 9,054. We'll jump over to Facebook, Microsoft, Tesla at an all-time new high. Quite a charge higher for Tesla as they're up more than double digits this morning, reaching $659. Crude oil trading lower. There's the slide from yesterday as, again, economic slowdown potential hitting the market, with crude actually touching a 51 handle at about 7:30 a.m. this morning, up a bit from there at 52.35. And the gold contract trading inverse to the market. Gold trades to about 15.87 early this morning. Backing off a bit, you have gold trading at 15.82 and the euro US dollar 110.25. In terms of what else you have happening in the market, we got to start with Tesla. Quite a charge higher. Why not? Let's pull up the chart because, boy, oh boy, Elon Musk continues to have a party in those Tesla offices. Quite a charge higher. There's the number. Last night, they come out with earnings. They earn $2.14 a share versus a $1.81 estimate. You see Tesla trade from $580 all the way up almost $90 to $660. $80 is that? Yes, it is. $659.80 the high. Pairing some of those gains now down at $632.50. Still bang up numbers for Tesla. And to get into it, $2.14 versus a $1.72, revenue of $7.38 billion versus the market looking for $7.02. The market expecting to produce 500,000 cars for the year. The automotive gross margins down slightly year over year and sequentially at 22.5% for the quarter. The company said it had already begun a production ramp for the Model Y, its newest crossover SUV, at its Fremont, California car plant. Company also said plans to build the Model Y eventually at a factory it plans to build in Germany in 2021. And for 2020, Tesla said vehicle deliveries should comfortably exceed 500,000. Pretty remarkable there. Tesla charging higher. Other stocks you had last night, Facebook. A little bit of a flip side as Facebook falls on slowing growth, down about 7%. We'll jump over to their chart in a moment. Still, just mammoth numbers. Revenue, $21 billion over 90 days. The market was only looking for 20.89. Daily active users, 1.66 billion versus 1.65. Monthly active users, 2.5 billion versus 2.5 billion forecast. Average revenue per user, quite a number, $8.52. It's remarkable. You have 2.5 billion users, revenue $8.5 per a user. But the number in here, Facebook, this is the little growth caveat that's sending shares a bit lower this morning. Facebook reported revenue growth of nearly 24.7% compared to the year prior, making it the fourth straight quarter that the company delivered sub 30% growth. Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg announced that the company now has more than 8 million advertisers, up from 7 million in October of 2019. And the company on Wednesday also announced a $10 billion share repurchase. There's a little chart of your average revenue per user. I mean, you're growing users, you're growing revenue per user still. Pretty remarkable, though. Facebook priced for what you might call perfection, because check out that chart. Closed yesterday at 223.23, spikes down to 205 and hanging right down at that number right now. Facebook looking open at 205.90 as of right now. Other numbers out there, you also had Microsoft out with their earnings, trading higher this morning on cloud growth, better than expected guidance. Azure revenue, that's their cloud growth, came in at 62% higher than what some analysts had predicted. The numbers, earnings, $1.51 per share versus $1.32 expected by analysts. Revenue, quite a beat. $36.91 billion versus $35.68 as expected. On a year-over-year basis, Microsoft's revenue rose 14% in the quarter ending December 31st. Pretty cool chart up here. I included it in the morning market report on the front page of TFNN if you want to check that out. Products and services growth. Boy, oh boy, check out that Azure growth at the top, but green all over the place. I mean, you even look at Office 365 commercial, just mammoth growth numbers, 45. I mean, these are quarterly numbers, growth numbers. My goodness, right? Office 365 commercially growing at 45 to 27% most recently. The Azure cloud still growing at 62%. Just mammoth green numbers all over the place there. The most high-profile win for Azure in the quarter made a lot of headlines from the U.S. Department of Defense, awarded the controversial Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure Cloud contract to Microsoft, worth $10 billion over a decade. Amazon making headlines as they probably going to challenge that in the court, and I believe they already are. Microsoft will pull up their chart, charging higher this morning. Closed yesterday at 168.04. You have Microsoft this morning closed trading at 174.28. Jumping around, the VIX, as you may expect, trading back near the highs that we had earlier in the week. Spiked to 1902 as we opened the trading week with, if you recall, Monday morning, we had the Dow futures down about 450 to 500 points. You had S&P futures down anywhere between about 40 points, 45 points. VIX spiking to 1902. Markets trade higher as we claw back. VIX now at 1789. And some of those numbers having to do again with the coronavirus getting the headline, the outbreak now up to 7,900 cases with 170 deaths. First case reported in India as well. Pretty remarkable as those numbers continue to climb. A little bit of fear back into the market. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be coming back with what else we have going on. We have jobless numbers out just now at 8:30. We have GDP numbers out as well. And we get some earnings today, including Amazon, Verizon. We'll get into all of it right after the break. We'll be right back.
If you're in a CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Markets in negative territory. We're getting a little bit of a pop on some GDP numbers. In line, we get the Dow up. Dow negative 187, S&P futures negative by 21, NASDAQ futures negative by 46. Jumping into those GDP numbers, we'll get over here. You have fourth quarter GDP rising 2.1% and full year closes with 2.3% gain. U.S. economy grew at a 2.1% rate in the fourth quarter, matching and in line with estimates. For the full year, the economy grew 2.3%, below the 2.9% increase in 2018 and the 2.4% increase in 2017. The U.S. economy, 2.1% in the fourth quarter, closing out the year in which the GDP decelerated to its slowest pace in 3 years amid a continuing drag in business investment. The GDP increase matched the third quarter and met expectations of economists surveyed by Dow Jones. For the full year, the economy grew 2.3%, below the 2.9% in 2018, as we mentioned, and 2.4% in 2017, which was the first year of Trump's presidency. The move in 2019 was well below the White House's projection following the 2017 tax bill that cut corporate and individual rates. Well, not to add any politics into it, but folks, share buybacks, not exactly what is going to drive that economy in terms of capital expenditures. The administration has said the stimulus would lead to GDP increases of at least 3%, but that hasn't happened yet, quote unquote, from CNBC. Continued gains in consumer spending helped propel the economy in the year's final 3 months, though the rate of the increase came in at 1.8%, well below the 3.2% in the third quarter. Still, personal consumption expenditures added 1.2 percentage points to the quarterly rise. The consumer accounts for 68% of what is now a $21.7 trillion economy. So a little bit of a reaction to that off the bat, getting into notes and bonds, pairing some of the action overnight. There's your 10-year. We were up to 131.20. We were up to 131.12 the high, 131.10, ticking down a few ticks on that number so far. It's a huge week of earnings this week overall. This week you have 145 stocks reporting earnings. And before we jump over, the other number out at 10:30, weekly jobless claims, pretty much right in line with numbers 216,000 versus 215,000 expected. That number out at 8:30. Jumping back to earnings, as I mentioned, huge week of earnings. 145 S&P stocks out of the 500. Eli Lilly profit beating estimates on strong Trulicity sales. Eli out with their numbers. The drug maker has been relying on its newer drugs to spur revenue growth as older medicines, including erectile dysfunction Cialis, lose market share to cheaper generic numbers. Trulicity sales rose 31% to $1.21 billion, accounting for nearly a fifth of the total sales in the quarter. And Eli Lilly this morning, there it is, LLY. Yesterday closed at 139.92. This morning, you're up about 1.5% at about 142. Other news out there for earnings, staying on the earnings front, Coca-Cola stock rise as earnings meet estimates and Coke brand boost sales. Good old Coca-Cola. Met Wall Street analyst expectations for the fourth quarter. Coke Zero Sugar and smaller size cans, gotta love that, just decreasing the size of the cans, have boosted Coke sales in recent quarters, even as soda consumption declines. They keep shoving that GDP announcement to us. Coke launched Coke Energy earlier this month in the U.S. and will launch its flavored sparkling water in March. The hard numbers here, earnings 44 cents versus 44 cents, and revenue with a beat of 9.07 billion versus 8.89 billion. The beverage giant reported fiscal fourth quarter net income of 2.07 billion or 47 cents a share, up from 870 million or 20 cents. Quite a rise, right? Income-wise, 870 million last year, 2.07 this year. Jumping over to Coke shares this morning, KO. There's your volatility, spiking up to 58.40, backing off a bit, but still looking to open almost 80 cents higher at 57.80. And I believe we have, what else do we have? Altria. Yeah, check this out. So Altria, of course, the cigarette company, had invested in Juul. Of course, with all the vape deaths going on, Altria taking a $4.1 billion charge in its investment in Juul. That posted Thursday as it took a $4.1 billion impairment charge for its investment in the e-cigarette company. Altria invested in Juul just merely 13 months ago, folks, buying a 35% stake at $12.8 billion as it looked to growth outside traditional cigarettes, kind of diversifying themselves. Altria expects the U.S. cigarette industry volume to decline at an adjusted rate of 4 to 6% in 2020. Hopefully that continues, and hopefully they get a control of this vape epidemic. In the fourth quarter, Altria posted a net loss of $1.81 billion or $1 a share, compared with net income of $1.25 billion or 66 cents a share a year ago. Excluding the impairment charge, Altria earned $1.02 a share, so kind of all having to do with that $4 billion. Sales of $4.8 billion, however, fell short of the analyst of $4.88 for expectations. And Altria this morning on their earnings, opening down about 1.2% so far, closed yesterday at 50.11, right now trading at about 49.50. Other news out there, Bank of England with their meeting today opts against a rate cut but warns of slower growth after Brexit. So the Bank of England issued a downbeat forecast on the eve of Brexit. The central bank forecast growth of just 0.8% in 2020, down from 1.3% in 2019, but rising to around 1.5% in 2021. Sterling jumped 0.3% against the dollar to trade at around 130.60 after their Monetary Policy Committee voted 7-2 to keep the base rate at 0.75%. And other news out there. Earnings season continues. We get Amazon after the bell tonight. Some speculation over what they will be putting out for their numbers. Amazon spending on one-day delivery likely to weigh on fourth quarter profit. I mean, if you follow Amazon, you know that Bezos is not concerned with profits. He is concerned with revenue. As for the revenue, analysts projecting growth of 19% to $86 billion from $72 billion just a year ago. Pretty remarkable that you can grow almost 20% when you're a company that's taken in $72 billion over 90 days. Getting into more of it, in its last earnings report in October, Amazon said it would spend $1.5 billion over the holiday period to expand its one-day delivery program and make it the standard for Prime subscribers, on top of the $800 million it invested in each of the prior 2 quarters. The company is expected to post a drop in fourth quarter profit to $4.03 per share from $6.04 per share a year earlier. At the same time, analysts are looking for that 19% pop in revenue to $86 billion. Revenue had climbed 17% to 24% in each of the past 4 quarters. Rising costs have weighed on Amazon's share price as of late. The stock's only up 17% in the past 12 months, trailing the 24% gain in the S&P 500. And to pull up Amazon shares, to give you an idea, this morning, 1856, pretty much in line. But as you look at things, as they're talking about, you pull it up on a 3-year weekly, a little bit of stagnation for Amazon, as we haven't reached a high since August of 2018 now. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be coming back to wrap up the show. We'll tell you everything else we have on tap for the day. We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as our #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the Dow futures negative 174, S&P futures negative by 20 right now, NASDAQ futures negative by 41. If you head on over to the front page of TFNN, the morning market report up this morning, talking about Tesla. We got Microsoft in there. We have Facebook as well. Clicking on that link, you see the action in the futures. I put a 5-day chart up there just for some reference of where we were as of Friday for the highs before the market fell off, where we were on Monday for the low at the height of the fear, right back near those lower levels, 32.46. S&P futures ticking up a bit from that level, put this up at about 7 or 7:30 this morning. Tesla, I got their numbers in there with their chart. I got Microsoft with their numbers in the acceleration higher. Check out that cool chart of their growth products and where they are. Facebook numbers as well, trading lower. We got Tom's 4 p.m. update last night if you want to check it out. A little bit of a coronavirus update, and then just charts of the different equities, futures, what's going on in the market. There's your gold contract. Pretty interesting that we're challenging right up to those highs we had on Sunday. Oil backing off with a 51 handle. Your VIX spiking higher, and then notes and bonds in there as well. And Larry Pesavento last night, folks, did a great webinar. There's still a chance to sign up for it right on the front page of TFNN. If you sign up, that archive is going to be available within about a couple hours. I encourage you to check that out. Great webinar. Will be right on your members page. You just click the account button. Right on your members page, you can access that webinar. That'll be available about 2 hours from right now for all subscribers of Fibonacci 24/7. Larry puts out great updates. Had one out there today again this morning. I encourage you to check it out. Thanks to Larry for doing a great webinar last night. And stay tuned, because we got our man, Larry Pesavento, coming up with Trade What You See, live from 9 till 10 in the morning. And the final thing to touch on, earnings. Today, we had Biogen already. After the bell, Amazon, Electronic Arts, Western Digital, Visa, Vertex, U.S. Steel, and tomorrow, Caterpillar, Colgate-Palmolive, Chevron, Exxon Mobil. I appreciate you joining me this morning, folks. Stay tuned. We got our man Larry Pesavento coming up from 9 till 10 for the opening bell. Should be an interesting day in the markets. Tesla at all-time highs. Microsoft looking for all-time highs as well. Apple, we'll see what happens. I appreciate you joining me, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.